this dual. Next is quantum mechanical model of atom. Dual behavior of matter. That is matter, very small particles, minute particles, they can exhibit particle nature as well as wave nature. Radiations, light, etc. They are very small particles, minute microscopic particles. They can exhibit wave nature as well as particle nature, and that is called dual behavior of matter. So we have to study what is de Broglie's wave equation. De Broglie's wave equation. According to de Broglie's wave equation, lambda is equal to h by mv. mv is momentum. That is lambda is equal to h by p, where p is equal to momentum. Momentum is mass into velocity. So wavelength of a radiation lambda is equal to h by mv, where m is the mass of the particle, v is the velocity, h Planck's constant. We can say that a train cannot travel in a wave nature, but an electron can travel in a wave nature, because this lambda is equal to h by mv. In the case of train, mass is very large, so lambda will be very small, so that cannot travel in a wave nature. But electrons is very small, mass is very small, so lambda will be very large, so they can travel in a wave nature. That is about de Broglie's wave equation. Next is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. According to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, it is impossible to determine exactly and simultaneously both the position and momentum of a fast-moving microscopic objects. According to Heisenberg's uncertainty principle, it is impossible to determine exactly and simultaneously both the position and momentum of a fast-moving microscopic objects. That is, delta x into m delta v is equal to or greater than h by 4 pi. Delta x is the uncertainty position, m is the mass, delta v is the uncertainty velocity, h Planck's constant. That is about the Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. Very small particle, microscopic objects. For example, when you throw a cricket ball, you can say the ball is in the hand of the bowler, then momentum will be zero. You cannot determine velocity. If the velocity of the ball is 90 km per hour, then you cannot detect the position. That means we cannot exactly and simultaneously cannot determine both the position and momentum of a fast moving microscopic objects. That is Heisenberg's uncertainty principle. You had studied the difference between orbit and orbital. The difference between orbit and orbital. Orbit is the path through which electrons are revolving around the nucleus, and orbital is the place of probability of finding electron. Orbit and orbitals. So we have to study different types of orbitals. First is s orbital. S orbital is spherical in shape. This is the s orbital. Spherical. Spherical in shape. S orbital. 1s, 2s. This is 1s orbital. And for 2s orbital, this is 2s orbital. 1s orbital, then 2s orbital. Shape is spherical in shape. The maximum number of electron is only 2 electrons in an orbital. Next is p orbital. P has 3 orbitals, px, py and pz. Based on the x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, P has 3 orbitals, 2px, 2py, 2pz. So we have to study the shape is dumbbell shape. So this is 2px, x-axis and y-axis. X, Y, 2py and 2pz. 2pz. 3 orbitals, 2px, 2py, 2pz. Here we can see the maximum probability of finding electron is within this limit. And here the limit is you cannot, possibility is 0, that's a node. You cannot see the electrons in the nodes. So about the p orbitals, maximum 6 electrons, 2px 2 electron, 2py 2 electrons and 2pz 2 electrons, totally 6 electrons. px, py and pz orbitals. So next is d orbital. D orbitals. D has 5 orbitals. 5 orbitals for D. They are 1 dxy, dxy, then 2 dxz, dxz, then 3 dyz. This is dyz. Then fourth, this is d x square minus y square, and fifth orbital is dz square. So these are the 5 orbitals of D. dxy, orbitals between x and y. dxz, orbitals are between x and z. dyz, orbitals between y and z. dx square minus y square, these are axial lobes along the x-axis and y-axis. And fifth orbital is dz square, the orbital is in the z-axis. That is the 5 orbitals of d orbitals: dxy, dxz, dyz, dx square minus y square and dz square. So these are the different orbitals. S orbital spherical in shape, p and d, they are dumbbell shape. P has 3 orbitals and d has 5 orbitals. So orbital is the place of probability of finding electron. We can what are quantum numbers and what are different quantum numbers. Quantum number gives us energy, shape and orientation of orbitals. Quantum number gives us energy, shape of the orbital, energy, shape and orientation of orbitals and spin of electrons. So there are 4 quantum numbers. So first one is principal quantum number represented by n. This n is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, for KLMN. So as principal quantum number, that will show the shell to which electrons are belonging. Principal quantum number gives us the shell to which electrons are belonging. Because n is equal to 1 shows that the electron belongs to K shell. N is equal to 2 means electron belongs to L shell. L is equal to 3 means electron belongs to M shell, and so on. So that is the principal quantum number that shows the shell to which electrons are belonging. Second is azimuthal quantum number. Azimuthal quantum number represented by L. So L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. for S, P, D and F. Azimuthal quantum number shows that the subshell to which electrons are belonging. Azimuthal quantum number that shows the subshell to which electrons are belonging. Represented by L is equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, S, P, D and F. So if an electron belongs to S subshell, L is equal to 0. If it belongs to P subshell, L is equal to 1. If it belongs to D subshell, L is equal to 2 and so on. So that is the azimuthal quantum number. And you can have n minus 1 values. N minus 1 values. If n is equal to 1, L is equal to 0. N is equal to, it can have the values. Then third one is magnetic quantum number. Magnetic quantum number. So magnetic quantum number shows the orientation of the orbitals when they are placed in magnetic field. That is magnetic quantum number. Third one. Magnetic quantum number. Represented by M. M is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 and so on. So magnetic quantum number that shows the orientation of the orbitals when they are placed in magnetic field. When you place the orbital magnetic field, it shows the orientation. And represented by M is equal to 0 plus or minus 1 plus or minus 2 and so on. And it can have, the values will be, for example, if it is for P, the P will have the Px, so the minus 1, Py 0 and Pz plus 1. So it have n minus 1 values here. For P, Px angle minus 1, Py 0 and so 3 values will be there. Similarly D, if the electron belongs to D subshell, it will have minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. So 5 values will be there. And if it is S, it will have only 1 value. So that is the magnetic quantum number. It shows the orientation of the orbitals when they are placed in magnetic field. Then fourth one is spin quantum number. Spin quantum number. That is represented by S. S is equal to plus half or minus half. Clockwise direction plus half, anti-clockwise direction minus half. Electron spin of electron. The electron spin in the clockwise direction plus half, anti-clockwise direction it will have minus half. So these are the 4 values for quantum numbers. Quantum number gives us the energy, shape and orientation of the orbitals. For quantum numbers, principal quantum number that shows the shell to which electrons are belonging, and second is azimuthal quantum number that shows the subshell to which electrons are belonging. Third one is magnetic quantum number that shows the orientation of the orbital when they are placed in the magnetic field. And fourth one is spin quantum number, that shows the spin plus half for clockwise direction and minus half for anti-clockwise direction. So there are the quantum numbers. And next you have to study some rules connecting with the filling of electrons. Rules related with the filling of electrons. So you have to study three rules in connected with this. Three rules connected with the filling of electrons in the subshells. So first one is Aufbau principle. Aufbau principle. What is Aufbau principle? That is, electrons are filling in the subshell in the increasing order of their energy level. Electrons are filling in the subshell in the increasing order of their energy level. That is 1s, 2s, 2p, 3s, 3p, 3d, 4s, 4p, 4d, 4f, 5s, 5p, 5d, 5f, 6s, 6p, 6d, 6f, 7s, etc. So the order of filling will be like this. Order will be like this. The first electron in the 1s orbital, then 2s orbital, then 2p, then 3s, 3p, then 4s, then 3d, 4p, 5s, 4d, 5p, 6s, and similarly. That is Aufbau principle. Electrons are filling in the subshell in the increasing order of their energy levels. So after filling 3s and 3p, electron will goes to 4s without filling 3d. Why? After filling 3s and 3p, electron will not go to 3d, but it goes to 4s. What is the reason for that? For that we have to find the energy of the orbital. So for that we have to use n plus l values. So you consider 3d and 4s. n plus l value 3 plus 2d. And 4 plus 0. So here it is 5 and this is 4. So energy of 4s is lower than 3d. So first electron goes to 4s. Then after that will go to 3d. Now if there are two orbitals which have the same n plus l value, then electron will goes to the orbital which is having lower principal quantum number. So two rules here. N plus l value you have to see to find out, and you can suggest which orbital to which orbital electron will fill. Second is, if two orbitals have the same n plus l value, then electron will go to the orbital which is having lower principal quantum number. That is Aufbau principle. Then second is Hund's rule. Hund's rule. According to Hund's rule, Hunds, Hund's rule. So you consider nitrogen 7, that is 1s2, 2s2. There are three orbitals for p, 2p, 2px, 2py and 2pz orbital. Now there are three electrons, so each electron occupy one orbital. This is because according to Hund's rule, pairing will not take place until all the orbitals of the same energy level are half filled. According to Hund's rule, pairing will not take place until all the orbitals of the same energy level are half filled. That is, here in nitrogen there are three electrons in the p subshell, so each orbital will occupy one electron each. So this is the correct arrangement and this is not the arrangement. It can be like this: two electrons the first one, third one 2px, 2 2p ion and 2p's. This is wrong. That is the first one is the correct arrangement of electrons according to Hund's rule. So what is Hund's rule? Pairing will not take place until all the orbitals of the same energy level are half filled. Then third one is Pauli's exclusion principle. And third one, Pauli's exclusion principle. Pauli's exclusion principle. According to Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons in an atom can have the same values for all the four quantum numbers. According to Pauli's exclusion principle, no two electrons in an atom can have the same values for all the four quantum numbers. So let us consider what is it. Helium, when you consider 1s2 configuration, so it can be written, this is 1s having 2 electrons, helium. Now when you consider the four quantum numbers, n, first electron and second electron. You consider the first electron and second electron. So n is equal to 1 and here is also 1. L is equal to SI, so 0, 0. Magnetic quantum number 0, 0. But for spin quantum number, one is clockwise direction which is having plus half and this is having anti-clockwise direction minus half. So no two electrons in an atom can have the same values for all the four quantum numbers. That is Pauli's exclusion principle. Now the electron filling, the rules regarding with the filling of electron is three rules. One is Aufbau principle, that is electrons are filling in the increasing order of their energy level. Second one is Hund's rule, pairing will not take place until all the orbitals of the same energy level are half filled. And third one is Pauli's exclusion principle, which says that no two electron in an atom can have the same values for all the four quantum numbers. So these are related with the quantum numbers and filling of electrons in the orbitals. So next we have to study about the special electronic arrangements in chromium and copper. So when you consider chromium 24, the electronic configuration is argon 18, then (3d4) 4s2. So first electron after filling 3s and 3p, electron goes to 4s, then after that fill 3d. But here this 3d4 is not a half-filled orbital or a completely subshell or a full-filled. So half-filled and full-filled orbitals are highly stable. So there is a rearrangement. One electron from 2s will be shifted to here. So chromium 24 arrangement is argon 18, 3d5, 4s1. Each orbital of 3d contain 1 electrons. 3d, 5 and 4s1. That is a special arrangement for chromium atomic number 24. The reason half-filled and full-filled orbitals are highly stable. When it comes 3d5, they become half-filled orbital. 4s, half-filled orbital. So they are stable. Then this is copper 29, argon 18, then 3d9, 4s2. But one electron will be shifted here. So correct arrangement. This is the correct arrangement 3d5, 4s1. This is not. Copper 29, argon 18, then 3d10. 3d10, 4s1. So in the case of chromium 24, argon 18, 3d5, 4s1, and copper 3d10, 4s1. This is 3d10, 4s1. Reason, half-filled and full-filled orbitals are highly stable.